All right, today we're going to break down the absolutely wild story behind a tool that millions of people use probably without a second thought. It's about a humble text editor that ended up finding a powerful and, yeah, pretty controversial political voice.
So, how on earth does a simple text editor become a platform for global political protest? It sounds crazy, right? Well, that's exactly what we're exploring today. We're digging into the incredible story of Notepad++, a piece of software that, tons of developers just can't live without, but very few know its full and truly fascinating backstory.
Okay, so let's start with the basics. On the surface, Notepad++ seems pretty straightforward, right? It's a free, open-source replacement for that really basic Notepad that comes with every single version of Windows.
But here's the thing. If you go to its website, the creator makes this really key distinction. The word free has a double meaning. You've got free as in free beer, which, means you don't have to pay for it. But then there's the other meaning, free as in free speech. And let me tell you, that second definition is where this whole story really takes off.
And just look at this comparison. It perfectly shows why so many people jumped ship from the basic Windows Notepad. The difference is, honestly, it's night and day. You're going from editing just one single file at a time to this awesome tabbed interface. From just plain white text to syntax highlighting for, get this, over 78 different languages. It is a massive upgrade in just pure functionality.
So where did this super powerful tool even come from? Well, it wasn't cooked up in some big corporate lab. Nope, it all started with one developer's personal, almost obsessive quest for efficiency.
Okay, so the developer, his name is Don Ho, was using this Java-based editor called JX at his company, and he found it just agonizingly slow. So he actually proposed building a new, faster one, but his company, they rejected the idea. So what did he do? He decided to build it himself in his own spare time, focusing on one thing above all else, pure, unadulterated speed.
And to get that speed, he made some really specific kind of nerdy technical choices. He built Notepad++ using C++ and the pure Windows API. Now what that means is it allowed for a much smaller program size and way faster execution. He was basically engineering it to completely avoid all those performance issues he hated in other tools.
And get this whole philosophy of efficiency, it runs deep. The creator's vision goes so far as to be environmentally conscious. The official website literally argues that by using less CPU power, the software helps reduce power consumption, which, you guessed it, results in a greener planet. A text editor helping the environment.
So, this intense focus on performance and on principle, it didn't just create a good product. Oh no, it turned a personal side project into an absolute, bona fide, global success story.
The response from the community was just immediate and absolutely massive. In its early years on the software site SourceForge, it was downloaded over 28 million times. That is a staggering number, especially for what started as just one person's passion project.
And by 2014, its popularity was just undeniable. Look at this. In a poll by the tech site Lifehacker, readers voted Notepad++ their favorite text editor by a huge margin. It captured 40% of the vote. It wasn't even a close race. It just blew the competition away.
And hey, it wasn't just hobbyists or casual users. The pros absolutely agreed. The super well-respected Stack Overflow developer survey crowned it the most used text editor in the entire world, 2 years in a row. We're talking more than a third of all developers surveyed confirming they used it. That's huge.
Okay, so let's recap. We've got a fast, free, and incredibly popular tool that's beloved by millions. Sounds like a great success story, right? Well, this is where the story takes a completely unexpected turn, and it loops right back to that idea we talked about at the beginning, free speech. So, what happens when a piece of software starts to have opinions? Well, its creator, Don Ho, he began using the software itself, and specifically its version release names, as a kind of megaphone to broadcast his own political and humanitarian beliefs to his massive global user base.
And the really crucial point here is the sheer impact of this. Think about it. With each new update, millions of users weren't just getting bug fixes or cool new features. They were getting a headline, a political statement on world events, delivered directly to their desktops. Now this table here, it just gives you a factual look at some of these politically themed releases over the years. And as you can see, they've touched on some really heavy topics. Everything from freedom of speech after the Charlie Hebdo attack in Paris, to human rights in China, the war in Ukraine, and the sovereignty of Taiwan. As you can probably imagine, this unique form of software activism has drawn some significant and pretty serious backlash. The Zhui Charlie release, it led to the website being hacked. The Free Uyghur release was followed by a massive cyber attack that completely took the site down. And after the Stand with Hong Kong version, several major web browsers in mainland China started actively blocking users from even downloading the software.
And all of this leaves us with a really fascinating final thought. The story of Notepad++ proves that even a humble, everyday utility can become a powerful and controversial global voice. It really forces us to ask, what is the role of activism in the technology we create and use every single day? And maybe more importantly, can any piece of software we use truly be neutral?